Hey YouTube, this is Gavin Animator. Welcome to my playthrough of Dear Esther. So, basically this is a remake of a Half-Life 2 mod. And, it's more of basically an interactive ghost story. So, and it's also made by the Chinese Room, so, which I'm a big fan of. So, yeah, hopefully. So I'm assuming we'll see some ghosts in this, game. So, okay, let's get started, yeah. Alright.
Dear Esther, the gulls do not land here anymore. I've noticed that this year they seem to shun the place. Maybe it's the depletion of the fishing stock driving them away. Perhaps it's me. When he first landed here, Donnelly wrote that the herds were sickly, and their shepherds the lowest of the miserable classes that populate these Hebridean islands. 300 years later, even they have departed.
I just saw something, shift this way over here while I was walking up here. Ugh. Well, the graphics look really, really good, actually. Ooh, I can zoom in. Wow. Let's see.
Donnelly reported the legend of the hermit, a holy man who sought solitude in its most pure form. Allegedly, he rode here from the mainland in a boat without a bottom, so all the creatures of the sea could rise at night to converse with him.
Flashlight?
How disappointed he must have been with their chatter. Perhaps now, when all that haunts the ocean is the rubbish dumped from the tankers, he'd find more peace. They say he threw his arms wide in a valley on the south side, and the cliff opened up to provide him shelter. They say he died of fever 116 years later. The shepherds left gifts for him at the mouth of the cave, but Donnelly records they never claimed to have seen him. I have visited the cave, and I have left my gifts, but like them, I appear to be an unworthy subject of his solitude.
Is this paint? Seems like it. Alright. Let's go. Whoa, 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 whoa! Hey, that's where I started. Look at the graphics on this. Because this is made on the Source engine, and it looks really good for being on that engine. This looks great. The environments and art and stuff.
Those islands in the distance, I'm sure, are nothing more than relics of another time. Sleeping giants, somnambulist gods laid down for a final dreaming. I wash the sand from my lips and grip my wrist ever more tightly. My shaking arms will not support my fading diaries.
Huh. I love the environments right now, and
Donnelly's book had not been taken out from the library since 1974. I decided it would never be missed as I slipped it under my coat and avoided the librarian's gaze on the way out. If the subject matter is obscure, the writer's literary style is even more so. It is not the text of a stable or trustworthy reporter. Perhaps it is fitting that my only companion in these last days should be a stolen book written by a dying man. someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or a fishing boat, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this, to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
There's a radio tower over there in distance.
I quote directly, a motley lot with little to recommend them. I have now spent 3 days in their company. That is, I fear, enough for any man not born amongst them. Despite their tedious inclination to quote scripture, they seem to me the most godforsaken of all the inhabitants of the Outer Isles. Indeed, in this case, the very gravity of that term, forsaken by God, seems to find its very apex. It appears to me that Donnelly, too, found those who wander this shoreline to be adrift from any chance of redemption. Did he include himself in that, I wonder?
Boat. Looks very. Oh, look at look at that. There's even
Dear Esther, I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton.
Damascus.
We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
Hey, that's where I started again.
I find myself increasingly unable to find that point where the hermit ends and Paul and I begin. We are woven into a sodden blanket, stuffed into the bottom of a boat to stop the leak and hold back the ocean. My neck aches from staring up at the aerial. It mirrors the dull throb in my gut where I am sure I've begun to form another stone. In my dreams, it forms into a perfect representation of Lot's wife, head over her shoulder, staring along the motorway at the approaching traffic in a vacuum of fatalistic calm.
Look at this. Quite a little flashlight. Look at the water. Whoa! Okay. That was unsettling. Hey, look there. That's why I started over there. Haha. Ooh, music. I like music. Music in games is pretty. Nice little water stream there. This game is beautiful. Beautiful. Excellent job.
I've become convinced I am not alone here, even though I'm equally sure it is simply a delusion brought upon by circumstance. I do not, for instance, remember where I found the candles, or why I took it upon myself to light such a strange pathway. Perhaps it is only for those who are bound to follow.
Ooh. Oh, I know what these stones are. Stones. The stones from... They usually have maps on them, or what? There's one. Ooh. This is interesting already. I like where this is all going. It's getting dark. Hey, that's a Half-Life 2, that's a Half-Life 2 walking noise, by the way. That sounds familiar. 30 FPS says Fraps. Oh, level transition. Enjoy. That was cool. Ooh.
Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sanford and the welcome break services. But although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
Ooh, shipwrecks. Let's go down there. Ooh. It's over there. There's something moving over there. You can barely see it. It's moving. It just stopped. Hi. Oh, okay then. Hey, there's a radio tower. Hello, Charlie. Nice to see you again. It said he's online on Steam, so... Oh yeah, see, there's a ghost.
I had kidney stones and you visited me in the hospital. After the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic, your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
Ooh. Ooh.
Is this what Paul saw through his windscreen? Not Lot's wife looking over her shoulder, but a scar in the hillside, falling away to black forever.
Seems too risky, looking down there, since I don't want to fall and die. Because that would just be stupid. So let's just continue and listen to the nice story.
I've begun my ascent on the windless slope of the western side. The setting sun was an inflamed eye squeezing shut against the light shone in by the doctors. My neck is aching through constantly craning my head up to track the light of the aerial. I must look downwards, follow the path under the island to a new beginning.
Is that what the flashlight's for? To look for ghosts? Because this is a ghost story, so... it makes sense that there would be spirits. Is that one? Is it? No. Yeah? No. No.
The bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jacobs, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. he was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either.
You guys saw that, didn't you? Because I saw it. There's a figure with a top hat standing right here, and then he went into here.
My heart is landfill. These false dawns waking into the still never light. I sweat for you in the small hours and wrap my blankets into a mass. I have always heard the waves break on these lost shores, always the gulls forgotten. I can lift this bottle to my ear, and all there ever is for me is this Hebridean music.
Hey, a gull. Huh. I mentioned the gulls. And also, my mic is on, right? Because sometimes I turn it on for like no commentary-less things. So hopefully I have it on, because that would be a disaster if it wasn't on right now. Like,
he left his body to the medical school and was duly opened out for a crowd of students 21 days after his passing. The report is included in my edition of his book. The syphilis had torn through his guts like a drunk driver, scrambling his organs like eggs on a plate. But enough definition remained for a cursory examination, and, as I suspected, they found clear evidence of kidney stones. He's likely to have spent the last years of his life in considerable pain. Perhaps this is the root of his laudanum habit. Although its use makes him an unreliable witness, I find myself increasingly drawn into his orbit. They found Jakobsen in early spring. The thaw had only just come. Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose. All around him, small flowers were reaching for the weak sun. The goats had adjusted happily to life without a shepherd and were grazing freely about the valley. Donnelly reports they hurled the body in fear and disgust down the shaft, but I cannot corroborate this story.
This is the skeleton of a boat. Ooh. And I'm the only one here in this island with ghosts, which I assume is Esther.
Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg. I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
So, is this what he was talking about? Okay. Leg entry. Let's do it. Okay. So, so far this is interesting. Oh, and now, okay, yeah.
Donnelly did not pass through the caves. From here on in, his guidance, unreliable as it is, has gone from me. I understand now that it is between the two of us and whatever correspondence could be drawn from the wet rocks.
My flashlight! God dang it! Wow. Look at this! Okay, apparently I auto crouch. Look at this. Look at these beautiful textures and details on this. Whoa. Look at this! This looks so cool! Are you expecting me to go down there? Really? Is this what you want me to do? Alright, let's do it. I'm doing it. Oh wow. Somehow we survived that. Look at this. This looks so cool. I know this game gets a lot of hate, but but for all that, I love this. What were they talking about? This is awesome. Cause I saw stuff like, yeah, you're just walking around. There's no like entertainment and stuff. There's no gameplay, blah blah. This game is not made for it. Which is even more cooler is that this is made on the Source engine and the looks and if you played Half-Life 2, that's the detail, the graphics are nothing compared to this.
If the caves are my guts, this must be the place where the stones are first formed. The bacteria phosphoresce and rise, singing through the tunnels. Everything here is bound by the rise and fall, like a tide. Perhaps the whole island is actually underwater.
Wow. Amazing job. Amazing job. I love it. I love it. I love everything about this. Graphics are beautiful. The music is nice. Whoa! Oh wow. Diamonds! I found the diamonds!
I will hold the hand you offered to me, from the summit down to this well. into the dark waters where the small flowers creep for the sun. Headlights are reflected in your retinas, moonlit in the shadow of the crematorium chimney.
So that is Esther's spirit. Oh, lag. For some reason the frame rate went up over here. Behold, Damascus taken. Apparently 60 FPS was over there. Throughout this entire playthrough, it's been 30, but it's randomly going up. I don't know. I'm talking about frame rate and crap. Wow. Just all the detail is Mark. Okay, time to dive. Ooh, waterfall. 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 Swim to the waterfall. Wait. What's that? I see something. It's gone. It just went away. What's that? Whoa, crap! What? What is this? Is this an underwater highway? Hospital bed. So, yeah. This is a highway underwater, and there's a hospital bed, so Esther's spirit. Drunk driver. Ooh. So from what I can pull together, so what I think is going on is that Esther died. She got hit by a drunk driver and died, and her spirit is following me around. Is that what's going on here? Oh. I'm assuming this is the final level transition of the game, because it showed 4 different levels, so I'm assuming this is the last one. Ooh, nighttime. Whoa, the moon. Look at the moon. huge.
I wish I could have known Donnelly in this place. We would have had so much to debate. Did he paint these stones or did I? Who left the pots in the hut by the jetty? Who formed the museum under the sea? Who fell silently to his death into the frozen waters? Who erected this godforsaken aerial in the first place? Did this whole island rise to the surface of my stomach, forcing the gulls to take flight?
I don't know. You tell me. I don't know the question. I don't know the answers to those questions, sir. But we'll find out soon. Hey, 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 hey. Spirit, you see this? You see this?
Dear Esther, I find each step harder and heavier. I drag Donnelly's corpse on my back across these rocks, and all I hear are his whispers of guilt, his reminders, his burnt letters, his neatly folded clothes. He tells me I was not drunk at all.
There's a ghost on that cliff. You see this? I like the music and the ghosts, and the voice acting's great. The story is great. Oh, hey, 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 hey! I see that! I see that! Reflection of a person instead of a candle. Man, this is so cool. I love this.
Chemical stains on the tarmac, the leak of air conditioning, brake fluid and petrol. He kept sniffing at his fingers as he sat by the roadside, waiting as if he couldn't quite understand or recognize their smell. He said he'd been traveling back from a sales conference in Exeter. He'd stopped for farewell drinks earlier, but had kept a careful eye on his intake. You could hear the sirens above the idling traffic.
Wait, what's that? What is that? Oh wait, that's a pole, never mind. That's just a pole.
From here, I can see my armada. I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
'Cause Esther's dead, and there's no point of sending those letters to her, so you turn them into boats instead. On a sudden night, that's a reference to Paul on the road to Damascus. So many references from Paul. Why is there grass sounds on a stone concrete floor? Stairs. So that's the beacon, and I'm assuming I gotta get to the radio tower. Since it's three-dimensional now, it didn't used to be.
A sound of torn metal, teeth running over the edge of the rocks, a moon that casts a signal. As I lay pinned beside you, the ticking of the cooling engine, and the calling from a great height, all my mind as a bypass.
Oh, hey, there's a ghost over there. Let's go say hi to him. Hey! Hey, buddy! You Esther? I'm pretty sure you are. Oh, come on, let me get up here. Aw. Oh, we have to go towards the, trail where the story is. I understand.
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me.
It's gone!
I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
He said that in the trailer. I remember that.
If only Donnelly had experienced this, he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
Aw. Oh.
There are headlights reflected in these retinas. Too long in the tunnels of my island without a bottom. The sea creatures have risen to the surface, but the gulls are not here to carry them back to their nests. I've become fixed, open and staring, an eye turned on itself. I've become an infected leg whose tracking lines form a perfect map of the junctions of the M5. I will take the exit at mid-thigh and plummet to my Esther.
Huh? Danger. Authorized personnel, keep out!
Blind with panic, deaf with the roar of the caged traffic, heart stopped on the road to Damascus, Paul sat at the roadside hunched up like a gull, like a bloody gull, as useless and as doomed as a syphilitic cartographer, a dying goatherd, an infected leg, a kidney stone, blocking the traffic bound for Sanford and Exeter. He was not drunk, Esther. He was not drunk at all. All his roads and his tunnels and his paths led inevitably to this moment of impact. This is not a recorded natural condition. He should not be sat there with his chemicals and his circuit diagrams. He should not be sat there at all.
There's a spirit up there. You see it?
We will leave twin vapor trails in the air, white lines etched into these rocks. Dear Esther, I have burnt my belongings, my books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobsen? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me. I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon, that they will not forget you. We have always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jakobsen flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent. Come back.
Okay, so that was it. Wow. So I gotta give it to all the people that made this, because I thought that game was really well done. So good job, Robert, Dan, Ben, Nigel, Samuel, Jack, Jessica Curry, who did a great job with the music. Good job, everybody who made this game. You've done an incredible job. The environments were beautiful. It had a good story. Just great job. Yeah, Chinese Room. They're the people that made Machine for Pigs, which I loved as well. So, yeah, I love Chinese Room games. They're really Chinese Room's really talented with their stuff. So I hope to I hope to see more in the future. So, I know this was made like, let's see here, 3 years ago, but I decided I bought this recently, so I decided to try it out. So, and so hope you guys enjoyed it too. If you did, leave a like, add your favorites, share it with your friends on Facebook or Twitter for support. Anything helps. I'll see you next time. Peace in.